Hi, my name is Diana Lewis-Campbell, or Dee as friends and family call me. I am Mi'kmaq and our traditional territory is called Mi'kma'ki. You know it as Nova Scotia. I moved away from Nova Scotia to finish high school and go to university. I worked in the city of Toronto. One of the jobs I had was with the Department of Indian and Northern Affairs, like your Bureau of Indian Affairs here in the United States. But I eventually left that job. I felt like I was losing my soul, being torn between the connection to my people and seeing policies implemented that worked against them. I came back to Nova Scotia 10 years ago and started reconnecting with my roots. I feel rejuvenated whenever I work with my community. I get back more than I can give in so many ways. In 2008, I started a Master of Resource and Environmental Management degree from Dalhousie University and graduated in 2010. My focus was on environmental assessment and how I could use this process as a way to engage our communities when development could impact them. It was at this time that I was approached by the women of the Pictou Landing Native Women's Association. Could I come and talk to them about Boat Harbor? And with my degree, would I be able to help them get the answers they had been looking for? It was clear from what the women were telling me that there was a lack of trust in people and in government. They were tired of people saying they were going to help or having studies conducted that never seemed to go anywhere. And it was clear that as mothers, grandmothers, sisters, and daughters, they felt their families had suffered enough. I remember being a little afraid and a little overwhelmed. Was I up to this? As a new graduate, did I know enough? But this was what I had trained to do. I recognized that what they wanted an answer to was bigger than what I could offer, so I asked the women if they would allow me to approach some of the professors I knew at Dalhousie, and they agreed. But the relationship didn't just happen. As I talked to some of the professors, I was mindful of whether they could work with the women or not, mindful of whether they could respect taking direction, mindful of their approach. When I met with Dr. Heather Castleton, it just clicked. She had worked with First Nations in a way that told me she got it. So Heather and I went to meet with the women in the community in late 2010, and the rest is history. I remember calling Sheila Francis, the president of the Pictou Landing Native Women's Group, in 2011, when Heather got word that we had secured the large research grant that would finally see them getting the help they had been looking for. It was later in the evening. When she answered, I said, "Guess what, Sheila? We got the money to help your community." Sheila started to cry. We both did. Her words, "Well, now I can die knowing if Boat Harbor is making us sick." So what is it, might you ask, that motivates me? This is what motivates me.
Was that a concern of yours, that the lagoon was so close to the Indian Reserve?
Well, it wasn't doing them any harm. They weren't in the water. They weren't living in the water. And so what?
And now we have the expertise to show the world that we do matter, and we can use our connections to make a difference. Wulaliak.